Hi, I'm Johanna Rothman, and this is my July 2025 Pragmatic Manager newsletter. Want more predictability? Ask about investment and value, not cost. Mike, a new senior leader, wants to know when engineering will deliver specific projects. He would prefer more accurate estimates, but he's okay with relative sizing, such as small projects, not more than a quarter, 12 weeks. Medium projects, somewhere between 1 3/4, 12 to 36 weeks. Large projects, about a year, 52 weeks. He's looking for a year's worth of certainty. However, none of the teams were willing to commit to their answers. Then, as he reflected, he said, "The small projects often go past a quarter. A few of the medium projects sort of finish inside 3/4. Worse, the large projects often go past a year." I asked if that mattered. He said, "Of course it does. The longer the project, the fewer we can do. We have too much pressure to deliver something." We discussed several ideas. The issue of initial estimates being off when people have too much interrupting work. See Little's Law for any kind of product development. How to learn how long your work will take. All the links below. Accurate estimation requires much more information than the teams have. How to predict when the team will complete a specific backlog item, Part 1. Extensive backlogs often mask the few valuable outcomes the customers need. Why we have too much pressure in planning and too little delivery. He shook his head. If estimation doesn't work, what's my alternative? I have a business to run. I said, ask about value and investment. That's much more accurate than cost, and you can choose how frequently to decide again. Start with an investment question. I often start with this one. Question 1. How much do we want to invest in this project before we decide on the portfolio again? Because we do not know how much any effort will cost, we can manage costs by choosing our investment time. This works as long as the portfolio team assigns each project team one and only one project. Then the team can learn its cycle time. If the management team decides to reevaluate the portfolio every 3 months, they might default to a 3-month investment. But this question works even better when the portfolio team has an appetite for too many projects. Instead of investing 3 months in each project, the portfolio team can choose to invest a smaller time, such as 4, 6, or even 8 weeks. You might like different options. That helps the team ask this question. Question 1A. What are the most valuable outcomes for the customers in this backlog? Once the project team understands, they can focus on those most valuable outcomes. Sometimes organizations realize they need to run some experiments to see how their projects might affect their corporate or product strategy. That's why I sometimes start with this question. Question 2. How little can we invest in a team doing this work before we discover what we need to make a better decision later? This question helps everyone realize that each project deserves a ranked backlog or short roadmap. That also helps the managers make better decisions. Sometimes the investment questions are not enough to help the portfolio team decide. That's when the value questions help them make better choices. Ask value questions. Investment means we will decide how much time or money to invest. What will we get for that investment? That's the value. I often use cost or delay to explain the possible value. Sometimes I combine that with the tangible, intangible, and peripheral value to describe all the value better. Ask any of these value questions. How does this project add to the value we offer our customers? Can we increase our revenue or reduce other risks with this project? How early can we tell? Will this work make it easier for the employees to do their work? This is often the case with infrastructure or tools projects that companies too often postpone for too long. How will this project enhance our desired strategy? I often use this question when people want to do apparently easy or small projects that do not appear to offer a lot of value. When people realize how much more value they can get for a smaller investment, they often choose the project portfolio or features in a roadmap differently. Start with an overarching goal. Mike and his leadership team first discuss their strategy. That helped them describe their overarching goal in more concrete terms. Also, that goal helped everyone optimize up for the company's success, not their own department's success. Then they learned if they divided one of the large projects into 3 parts, they could choose to limit their initial investment. In effect, they could take that large project and make it a small project, and then decide what to do next. Some of the small projects offered much more value to the customers and employees than any of their current medium projects. The reason their medium projects were so random, their word, not mine, was that no one had any insight into the value of that work. Once everyone focused on an overarching goal, plus the investment and value questions, people changed how they thought about all the work. That made their portfolio meetings take less time. While they did not have a year's worth of the project portfolio, they had a solid 3-month plan. That was good enough for now. Investment and value questions matter more than the cost questions. Many of us have been on projects or programs where the cost question was irrelevant. Instead, the only thing that mattered was how fast the team could deliver an outcome that mattered to the customers. Just imagine if that was the question all senior leaders asked. Cost questions rarely work. Instead, focus on the few problems you want to solve for customers now and how fast you can support the teams to deliver those outcomes. While Mike does not have his yearly plan, he has a much more reliable plan that allows him to manage the inevitable uncertainties as they arise. Start with investment and value questions. That will help you start valuable work sooner and stop with the less valuable work. Read more. This newsletter touches on several of my books: the Modern Management Made Easy books, Predicting the Unpredictable, Pragmatic Approaches to Estimating Cost or Schedule, Manage Your Project Portfolio, Increase Your Capacity and Finish More Projects, Project Life Cycles, How to Reduce Risks, Release Successful Products, and Increase Agility. Learn with me. Effective public speaking is with my copy editor. Then I'll be able to finish the book and offer my Kickstarter. I'll send you the link so you can decide if you want to back it. If you are part of the Agile community, consider checking out the Agile Network, link below, and the discount code below. I have all kinds of links of interest in the first comment for this. And thank you. I will see you next month.